any couples here today? Yeah, some couples. More specifically, are there any couples where one has a innie belly button, and the other has an outie belly button? You ever go ahead, just put those inside each other? Did they click when you hugged? That's how you knew they were the one? Sometimes I try so hard to be a good person that's what makes me a bad person.
Please give a round of applause for Keira McGill!
I think that breakups, like getting dumped, I think getting dumped is underrated. I would much rather be dumped than I would be dumping somebody. Like, would you rather be the doctor giving the bad news or the patient receiving it? Yeah. You might think you want to be the doctor, but only one of us is getting a Make-A-Wish. I only ever had to end one relationship, not to brag, but before that, I was only ever dumped. And, I was realizing that it wasn't the right relationship for me at the same time that I was falling in love with my best friend, which it wasn't like one caused the other. It's kind of like that math problem. If train A is leaving Chicago for Toledo at 70 miles an hour, and train B is leaving Toledo for Chicago at 80 miles an hour, which train do you want to kiss? But I think that sometimes I try so hard to be a good person that's what makes me a bad person. Like, I really overthought this breakup. I pulled out a physical calendar to pick a day to end the relationship when I thought would be most convenient for her to be sad. The day I happened to pick was when we all went into lockdown. Yeah. Now maybe the most inconvenient day in the world. And it was tough. I couldn't get advice because I couldn't access a ghost from the Spanish flu with my Ouija board. And then to complicate things, my best friend, she messaged me and she said, "Hey, why don't you come stay with me for quarantine? You can bring your girlfriend." I know, which would be a terrible idea, right? A horrible idea. And so there we all were, the three of us. Sitting on my best friend's couch, watching the music video to Swedish pop sensation Robin's Call Your Girlfriend. Yeah. Which, if I had just listened to the lyrics, would have given me the exact formula on how to end the relationship. Call your girlfriend, time you had the talk, give your reasons, say it's not her fault, you just met somebody new, easy. But the thing is, I don't even use IKEA instructions, so I've got a drawer full of loose screws and a lot of screws loose, baby. We all lived together for 3.5 months. Yeah, 3.5 months until I finally got the courage to listen to my best friend tell me her feelings about me first. Which I then obviously immediately, 2 days later, ended the relationship when I knew it was convenient for her to be sad. I know, it was a 10-hour breakup. Short for lesbians. It takes about as long to get into the U-Haul as it does to get out. Yeah. But my best friend and I, we are still together. We've been together for 6 years. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we get married in a month. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and we're alike in a lot of ways, but we're different in really important ways. Like, I can be quite reserved, and she's taught me to be a more open version of myself. And I've taught her that 3 a.m. is a bad time to reorganize the sock drawer. She is the love of my life and my sleep paralysis demon. I did get my Irish citizenship. Yeah, I know. I feel like Charlie Bucket with the golden ticket. Incredible, and it has given me it's given me new power in our relationship. Like, obviously I love my partner, of course I would take her with me if I moved abroad, but now I have a little more sway. Like, in every relationship there's one partner who refills the water bottle at the end of the night, and there's one who gets to stay comfy in bed, see you two looking at each other. I'm usually the one refilling the water bottle. But now, I still do it. It's just that when I do, I get to mutter under my breath, listen, the Titanic is sinking, and I'm Rose on the door. You're floating in the water still. I can pull you up. There's room. Watch it. What I'm saying is I don't wear the pants, but I do get to borrow the capris. Yeah. I appreciate straight allies who try to normalize queer love and relationships by being like, oh, gay people, they're just like us. Their love is just like ours. It's not. It's not. I went to a bachelorette party where they were giving the future bride marriage advice, and they were saying things like, oh, best thing you can do for your marriage is have separate bathrooms. If you can have separate bedrooms, even better. If you can do a passing glance in a foreign country every 5 years, you will make it. Meanwhile, like my partner and I were apart right now, and she sent me away with 4 letters and designated times to open them, like a 1930s couple torn apart by war. If I don't wake up in a choking embrace, I cry. You know, like, I'm not saying it's better, it's just the other end of mental illness. It's a beautiful spectrum. I love doing stand-up, it's so fun, you guys are great. My family's very supportive, but my Grammy, every time I talk to her, she's like, it's so important to be a clean comic. It's really important that you're a clean comic. So I always shower. I always shower before I get up here and talk about crushing. No, I've never crushed anything but my own spirit. Don't worry. Don't worry. I wish that I could be a slut, though. I think sluts are cool, you know? Give it up for sluts. Yeah. They give it up for you. You gotta give back. But no, I've never been the town bicycle. At best, I've been a town unicycle. Yeah. Mostly ridden by clowns.